You are exhausted. Not because you ran a marathon, and not because you finished a major project. You are exhausted because you spent the last 6 hours climbing a mountain entirely inside your head. You look at your screen. You have 15 tabs open. One is a tutorial on how to code. Another is the perfect morning routine. Another is a review of the best camera gear for a YouTube channel you haven't started yet. You have consumed so much information that your brain feels heavy, physically swollen with data. You feel productive. You feel like you are moving forward, but then you close your eyes and look at your reality. The room is messy. The notebook is blank. You haven't actually done anything. This is the silent tragedy of the modern intellectual. You are trapped in a state of high friction, but zero movement. Like a car with its wheels spinning in the mud. The engine is screaming. The gas is burning. The heat is rising. But the vehicle hasn't moved an inch. And the worst part? You feel guilty. A deep, gnawing sense that you are wasting your potential. You look at others, people who seem less prepared than you, less smart than you, and they are lapping you. They are posting the bad art. They are launching the imperfect business. They are living. While you are still researching the best way to live, you tell yourself you are just being careful. You tell yourself you are just planning. But deep down, you know the truth. This isn't planning. This is paralysis. You aren't lazy. If you were lazy, you would be enjoying your rest. You aren't enjoying this. You are suffering. Today, we are going to dissect why your brain prefers the torture of potential over the risk of action. We are going to look at the neuroscience of why you feel like you are wasting your life and how to finally break the loop. To understand why you are stuck, we first need to look at the architecture of your stagnation. You are likely falling into one of two specific cognitive traps. These aren't character flaws. They are software bugs in a brain designed for survival, not for modern complexity. Type 1 is the simulator. The simulator is addicted to the mental rehearse. When you visualize yourself succeeding, finishing that novel, losing that weight, or becoming a master coder, your brain releases a specific neurochemical reward. It releases dopamine. Here is the problem. To the primitive parts of your brain, vivid visualization is dangerously close to actual experience. When you spend 3 hours planning the perfect workout schedule, researching the best protein powder, and designing the logo for your fitness journey, you get a sense of satisfaction. You feel full. The brain says, "Good job. We have addressed the problem. We are safe." You have consumed the reward before you did the work. This is called premature dopamine release. By the time you actually have to put on your running shoes, the motivation is gone. Why? Because the act of running is hard, sweaty, and boring compared to the dream of running. The simulator loves the blueprint but hates the construction site. You become a master architect of a life that does not exist. You have built castles in the sky because the physics of the real world, gravity, friction, time are too heavy for your current mental state. Type 2 is the optimizer. If the simulator is addicted to pleasure, the optimizer is paralyzed by fear. Specifically, the fear of opportunity cost. In economics, opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. The optimizer looks at life like a strategy video game. You want to have the perfect build. You believe there is a single, optimal path to success. And if you choose the wrong one, you are doomed. You stand at a crossroads. Path A is graphic design. Path B is marketing. Path C is coding. You think, if I choose coding, I kill the graphic designer inside me. If I choose marketing, I might hate it and waste 5 years. So, what do? You wait. You research. You read Reddit threads from 2018 asking, is it too late to learn Python? You look for a guarantee. You are looking for a path with zero risk and 100% certainty. This leads to a state known in psychology as analysis paralysis. Your brain's prefrontal cortex is running thousands of simulations per minute, calculating outcomes, weighing pros and cons. This burns an immense amount of glucose. This is why you are exhausted. While you are standing still, your brain is redlining. It is expending the same energy as someone who is actually working. But all that energy is heat, not motion. The tragedy of the optimizer is that by trying to keep all doors open, you end up standing in the hallway until the lights go out. You are so afraid of making the wrong move that you make the only fatal move, no move at all. You are treating your life like a chess game where you can calculate the checkmate before moving your first pawn. But life is not chess. Life is poker. You play with incomplete information. You cannot know the outcome until you bet the chips. The optimizer doesn't realize that a mediocre plan executed violently is almost always better than a perfect plan that never leaves the notebook. Now, we arrive at the uncomfortable truth. The real reason you are stuck is not because you lack discipline. It is not because you don't know how to start. You are stuck because of type 3, the guardian of potential. This is your brain's ultimate defense mechanism. It is a bodyguard for your ego. Here is the logic. Right now, in your head, you are perfect. You are a writer who could write a bestseller. You are an entrepreneur who could build a fortune. You are an artist who could paint a masterpiece. As long as you stay in the realm of potential, your identity is safe. You are a quantum success, simultaneously successful and not, simply because you haven't observed the result yet. But the moment you take action, you collapse that wave. The moment you write the first sentence, it might be clumsy. The moment you go to the gym, you might look weak. The moment you launch the project, it might get 0 views. Action forces you to trade a perfect fantasy for an imperfect reality, and your brain hates that trade. Your brain would rather feel the dull ache of wasting time than the sharp sting of being mediocre. So, you hold on to your potential like a miser hoarding gold. You think, I'm saving my energy for the right moment. I'm waiting until I'm ready. But let's look at our core metaphor, the loaded spring. Imagine your life is a metal spring. Every book you read, every tutorial you watch, every plan you make, that is you compressing the spring. You are adding potential energy. You tell yourself, I am building power. When I finally release this, I will fly. But you never release it. You just keep compressing, pushing down harder, adding more information, more pressure. What happens to a spring that is compressed for too long under too much weight? It doesn't store infinite power. The metal structure begins to warp. It creates internal stress. Eventually, it doesn't launch at all. It just snaps. This is why you feel like you are wasting your life. That feeling is the internal pressure of unreleased energy. It is your soul screaming because it was designed for motion, not for storage. You are not an archive. You are a vessel. The twist is this. You think you are wasting your life by not doing the perfect thing. But the only way to actually waste life is to keep it inside you. A bad painting hanging on a wall is infinitely more valuable than a perfect painting that stays in your head. A failed business teaches you more in 3 months than 3 years of thinking about business. You have to be willing to kill the perfect you in your imagination. You have to mourn them. Let them die. So that the real you, the clumsy, learning, growing, stumbling version, can finally start to live. So, how do we uncoil the spring without snapping it? How do we move from the safety of potential to the danger of action? You need to embrace the philosophy of the trash draft. Your brain is paralyzed because it is trying to produce version 10 on the first try. It wants the masterpiece. But the laws of physics do not allow you to skip steps. Here is your micro step for today. Pick the thing you have been avoiding. The workout, the writing, the project. Now, give yourself permission to do it badly. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Your goal is not to do a good workout. Your goal is to do a clumsy workout. Your goal is not to write a great page. Your goal is to write a trash page. By lowering the standard from perfect to non-zero, you trick the amygdala. You bypass the fear response because the stakes are low. You aren't trying to change your life. You are just moving your hands. And a strange thing happens once you start. The friction disappears. The dread evaporates. Because the dread was never about the work itself. The dread was about the expectation of the work. Once you are in motion, the spring releases. The energy flows, and suddenly, you aren't thinking about life anymore. You are living it. Don't let your potential rot inside you. It is better to be a fool who takes action than a genius who refuses to play. Remember, you are not a failed product. You are just a prototype that is stuck in the design phase. It is time to ship version 1. Welcome to the Mindwise method.